Desexualizing intimacy. So I want to argue that love is at the heart of everything that we do. The desire to express and be loved, I believe, is at the core of a lot of what drives us as human beings. There's this great song that was written by an independent sort of Toronto local band, and the line in that song that I really love is, "Love is the answer, love is the call, love is the only reason why we are here at all."
What's the name of the song?
It's called "The Loneliest Lion" by Christian Bridges. And he's a local Canadian artist. You'll see him in Kensington Market. And yeah, so now you have an image of a bunch of condoms. I feel like when our generation thinks about love, it's like, for me, it's like if we're looking at a really big heart, it's like our generation has like a magnifying glass on sexual, physical intimacy. You probably all remember your first day at orientation, and you have a bunch of condoms thrown at you, and they're like, you know, if you're going to do it, if you're going to meet someone on campus, just make sure that you use a condom so you don't get an STI, and if you don't feel comfortable, know that you can say no. But I argue that that's not enough for us as a generation to really navigate this desire to be physically intimate. I don't know if you guys have ever felt this way, but sometimes after a really awesome hookup or a really awesome physical, intimate encounter with your partner, have you ever felt confused? Have you ever felt debased? Have you ever felt wished you said no to certain things rather than yes? Well, for me, I feel like these feelings arise because if we look at the root of why we desire physical, intimate connection with other human beings, maybe it has nothing to do with just sex, but has more to do with our desire for connection and belonging. So why do I say this? Why do I feel like that there might be more to why I desire to be physically in contact with another human being? Well, let me tell you a story. Let's rewind back to 2011. The Occupy movement happened. And I was on my 5th year at University of Toronto, and I was really into political theory, and when I heard that a park had been occupied by a bunch of campers, I thought, wow, this might be a great place for me to study the social contract, a bunch of individuals trying to build community. And at the core of that while we were there, something that we began to feel, and I didn't camp out there all the time, but whenever I went by and I was hanging out with the community out there, I started to feel like at the heart of this is our desire to be loved. Now, this image was taken during the eviction. So Rob Ford put out a calling and he said, "You're taking down your tents. No more tents. You guys can stay at this park, but you're taking down the tents. If you want to sleep there, sure, but no tents." Now he knew this was like around November, around the same time, right? And he knew that it would be really cold. Nobody's gonna really want to stay out at a park. So me and a friend decided, you know what, we're gonna listen to this legal mandate. We're gonna take our tents down because we're not gonna break the law. So we took down our tents and we decided we're gonna sit outside in the cold. And then something happened. It was so cold that individuals saw us sitting there throughout the night, camping out. They even though we weren't like, hey, we're doing this to prove that we can stay outside even if it's cold, that we're going to still stand in solidarity to support this movement. people started coming up to us and sitting next to us, realizing that we were cold. And literally, this situation consisted of a bunch of individuals that I had maybe spoke to once while at the park. Now, I had no idea what this was. But then, fast forward. Wait, well, actually, I should bring this up. But it made me realize something. It was like, wow, that feeling of being in that puddle with a bunch of other human beings that I just met, that still felt good. So it made me think, maybe I like human touch for more reasons than just for desire. Then, so we fast forward, and then it happened again. So I found myself in San Francisco in 2013. Now, San Francisco is considered one of the most progressive, liberal places on earth. And when I went out there, I ended up at this project called Free Space. It was a 4-story property in the Mission District that during the National Day of Civic Hacking in the United States of America, a bunch of individuals called civic hackers decided to take over a property and turn it into this community project. And I met a bunch of these individuals that were extremely open. We wanted to meet a lot of people. They were about building community, and I ended up working with them for a whole month. And then it happened again. I found myself in situations with individuals that were totally down to lay down next to each other, cuddle if you'd like to call it that, for no other reason than just to hang out and be in physical contact with each other. But again, I don't know what to call this. I didn't know at that time what to call this. Until I met someone in San Francisco who gave me a term. Cuddle therapy. Okay, so what do you guys think cuddle therapy is? And what do you think are some of the positive effects of cuddle therapy? I mean, I've shown you a few images, but it's quite obvious.
I don't know what you're specifically asking for, but definitely a boost in oxytocin and all those feel-good chemicals, which you experience actually through a 22-second hug. If you hug for 5 seconds, it doesn't work. 22 seconds always works though.
Yeah.
So you need to have those long awkward hugs. That's basically what I'm saying. What else? Cool conversations.
Cool conversation. Yeah? Any other ideas what could happen or what cuddle therapy is? Yeah.
Can satisfy your needs without being seriously commitment. There's no commitment.
Cuddle hookup.
Yeah. Okay, so cuddle therapy. So here's the online definition of it. A larger movement for meta-connection, non-sexual, therapeutic, consensual, and conscious contact. Mammals do it. This is a great image, and there's a bunch more. If you go Google cuddle puddle online, you'll find a bunch of great images of kitties and puppies and all these really cool animals just hanging out. And it's kind of fascinating because at these 2 community projects, at the Occupy movement and then at the Free Space project, we're a bunch of human beings. We're just hanging out, working on community stuff, and we kept engaging with each other, we kept building, we kept working with each other, that we eventually became so comfortable that we started behaving like this. So what's meta? So this quote, I think, is really powerful. Love exists in itself, not relying, not on owning or being owned. Love is not a matter of currency or exchange. No one has enough to buy it, but everyone has enough to cultivate it. Meta reunites us with what it means to be alive and unbounded. Has anyone ever done Vipassana? Yeah, and they tell you to do the metta. That's how you pronounce it if you're using Sanskrit. Metta bhavana, which is the metta meditation. And you sort of meditate on compassion. Just meditate on just kind thoughts towards other beings. And there's no like desire, there's no wanting of you, but I'm just like, hey, it's a nice person, I wish him the best. And then you think of like your enemies, you're like, that guy really fucked me over. You know what? I feel him, he probably was going through a really hard time. So for me, when I think of metta, it's like, it's unconditional. It's like loving in a way, it's like, I'm gonna hug you, but I don't want anything from you. I don't want anything to come with it. I just wanna hug you. That's it. I leave it at that, period. You know? And I just wanna feel your shoulder next to me. And there's no need, like it's not like I want to be with you or for you to be with me. It's just, I just wanna feel your shoulder next to mine, and that feels nice, and that's it. And so for me, unbounded that's one thing I love about these cuddle puddles and this idea of contact and this non-sexual contact is that it takes away this whole expectation thing. And so I'll give you, here's an image of a bunch of people where I'm not in the midst of it, but a bunch of people doing that. And so why it matters. And I think we talked about it a little today, and I've spoken about it a lot today as well, but yeah, it's sexual to non-sexual. So why do we want to go from sexual to non-sexual? Because, like, come on. Physical, being desired and desiring someone feels really good. I'm not going to deny that. But why do I think that this non-sexual thing is really cool and should be explored? It's because, let's look at the chakras. When we think about sex, we're like right here in our desire chakra, like our survival chakra. Like I'm gonna get with this person and she's gonna be mine, and then we're gonna have babies, and we're gonna buy a house, and Or sometimes it's just like literally just like animal instinct. Like now, when you move up your chakra and you come up here to your heart, it's like I want to keep moving up my chakras. For me as a human, as an evolving human being, I want to keep moving up my chakras. I want to experience other parts of my chakras with other human beings. And I want to move up here. And when I move up here, I move to a place of compassion. When I was talking about metta, I move to a place of unattachment. I move to a place where I love you and nurture you because I realize the power of my love and my ability to want my connection to you. And I've been talking to you a lot today, but to everyone in this room, my connection to you can better your life. And I believe that. And I believe that hug, that rub on your back, unconditionally, could be so powerful in the betterment of you, and I want to come from that place. And I think that as we move more towards non-sexual, and I think about all these amazing, enlightened beings, the enlightened beings, right? I've never met Jesus and I've never met Buddha, but why did they choose to live a life that was non-sexual? And I think about whenever I'm sexual, how conflicted I feel, and whenever I'm non-sexual, how empowered I feel. And I'm still exploring that. And I kind of want to get the word out there. I'm like, guys, I'm trying this thing out, and it's kind of interesting. I feel empowered doing it, and yeah. So that's the first one. Expectation to unconditional. I think I brought that up a lot today, but yeah, when the first time you got your heart broken. I remember the first time I got my heart broken, I went to go see my doctor, and my doctor said to me, she's like, oh yeah, my first boyfriend broke up with me, and now he's dead. Don't worry. Nature will get him. Nature will get him. And I just remember being in that doctor's office, really sad that, my boyfriend broke up with me, and, I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with him, sure, but hell no, do I want to live feeling no forgiveness. And I did a lot of research after getting my heart broken, and every time a woman falls in love with a man, we release the same chemical that a mother releases when she has a child. So I thought about that. I thought about being able to love in an unconditional way. Women give birth to so many kids, and these kids just walk off. And they're like, see you later, Mom, I found another chick. Thanks for feeding me, I love you, bye. But no hard feelings. Mom's just yeah, I love you, that's cool, it was fun hanging out with you. you gotta leave. That's cool. Like, see you later. And I love you and you come over whenever you want. That's the kind of love I want to see. That's the kind of love I wanted to cultivate. Unconditional. I love you, you want to peace out, see you later, no hard feelings. Exclusive to inclusive. You know what? I want to be able to love more people. There's a great Mother Teresa quote, she said, where it says, may God break my heart so completely that the whole world falls in. And that quote was so powerful. Every time I got my heart broken, I continued to get my heart broken because for some reason I attract heartbreak. But guess what? It just made my heart get bigger and bigger and bigger. And now I love more and more people because I've loved too many people. No, but it's just like it's gotten so big. It's just like, you know what? I could be that person that's really, really sad today because I know that feeling. I know that feeling of being rejected. But I also know the feeling of being really loved and treated awesomely, So I just want to be able to love more inclusively. And I'm not about just one person anymore. I want to be able to share my compassion with more people. And cuddle therapy allows for me to do that. Or contact movement allows for me to do that. Being more comfortable hugging random people allows for me to do that. Now, oxytocin, someone brought that up, and yeah, shout out to oxytocin. It is proven every time we get in a hug and we spend those 22 seconds or longer with somebody, we release a trust bonding chemical in our brain. We begin to trust each other more. And you know what this world needs more of? We need more trust. And a lot of this trust has been broken. And you guys still should be on edge about trusting every single person. But through cuddle therapy, through these unconditional, no expectations, non-sexual, we can begin to heal a lot of the ways that we might have been hurt when we chose to open up to people, and chose to try to connect with people. And we can begin to trust each other again. And finally, and it goes right back to that, it's this interconnection of the mind, body, and the spirit. And for me, it's about evolution, it's about spiritual growth as a human race. And I feel like it's the next step, for our very hypersexualized society. And finally, and this is my most wildest idea, we have come to a time, and it's happening right now in Toronto, where so many different people have ended up at the same spot. And all boundaries of class, gender, race, ethnicity are being challenged. And it is the best time to find more ways to connect. It is the best time to remember our fundamental oneness, that we began together somewhere, that science is, saying that we all began in one place, and we have all, as nomadic human beings, have, walked across the world in so many different directions, and we're back. And maybe contact movement, and maybe cuddle therapy can allow us to physically remember that connection. Because sometimes I feel like language is not enough. When I say one, sure, you all have perceptions of what one means. You might think of number one, you might think of, but when we are able to hug, and we are able to shut our minds off and feel the sensation in our body, I feel that there, my friends, you will discover true, what it means to feel that oneness, to feel wow, this person, me and this person, fundamentally, energetically, we are the same. Thank you, guys.